Park Jimin, an icon of warmth and emotional connection in BTS, suddenly chose silence. No more short, affectionate comments, no interaction with Jungkook, no witty replies he usually added to other members' posts. Jimin remained online, yes, but his presence felt like a shadow, present, yet not touching. ARMY, the global BTS fandom, moved quickly, not in anger, but in anxiety. One question now hung in the air, weighed by tension. What is really happening to Jimin? This change did not emerge gradually. It came suddenly, and that made it more disturbing. There was no gradual transition into disengagement. No busy period used as an excuse. One moment Jimin was present, engaged, and loving as usual. The next moment, he simply stayed silent, especially toward Jungkook, who has long been known to be very close to him. They once symbolized an unbreakable bond within the group, supporting each other on stage and behind the scenes, joking together, touching the emotions of fans. So when Jimin stopped responding to Jungkook, it was not just a shifted dynamic. It felt like a subtly collapsing relationship, and painful. Fans have documented this change with the precision of forensic researchers. Screenshots show Jungkook directly mentioning Jimin, in comments, in live streams, in posts. But none received a reply. No reaction. No sign of digital life from Jimin. Moreover, Jimin's own uploads felt sterile, highly curated photos, dry captions, and not one suggesting intimacy or nostalgia. Previously, laughter and warmth filled every post. Now there is only aesthetic and distance. Did I ask this deliberate? If so, why? Some suspect Jimin is preparing solo projects, perhaps needing emotional space to concentrate. However, for someone like Jimin, who has always embraced the group in every phase of his career, this theory feels weak. Another, darker speculation suggests possible emotional pressure. Jimin is known as a sensitive figure, and his history shows he once hid emotional wounds so as not to burden others. Could that be happening again? Is this a form of self-protection? Responses from the other BTS members felt ambiguous, but could not be ignored. Jungkook seemed to try to stay connected, giving likes without comments, as if saying, "I'm still here." RM wrote philosophical quotes about, "Those who feel the most are the ones who speak the least." Is that a reflection of Jimin's situation? Even Taeyong, who is usually expressive, appeared restrained. A few days ago, he posted an old group photo, a silent nostalgia uploaded just as ARMY was trending globally. Talk to them, Jimin. This tension creeps not through direct statements, but through silence. And in the world of BTS, silence is not trivial. It can mean distance, crisis, or transition. For fans who have long viewed BTS as the embodiment of unconditional friendship and love, Jimin's emotional absence felt like a crack in the seemingly sturdy foundation. A camera once captured Jimin backstage, sitting alone, staring at his phone, his eyes glassy. No one approached. No one hugged. Was this a pivotal moment? A disturbing question arises. If Jimin was hurt, why did no one touch him? Social media, as usual, became fuel for all this worry. TikTok, YouTube, and X, Twitter, filled up with threads, analyses, and theories. Every absent emoji, every comment not replied to, even every facial expression was fully analyzed. Not because fans crave drama, but because of love. But has that love transformed into dangerous emotional dependency? Here lies the bigger issue. Jimin's silence becomes a mirror for a fandom culture increasingly blurred between support and expectation. ARMY didn't just observe, they interpreted. They built narratives from emptiness. They searched for meaning in what was left unsaid. Yet, we must realize, even the most touching narrative isn't always true. No matter how great the pain, silence is not necessarily a sign of destruction. It might just be a phase, a time Jimin needs to recharge his emotional energy. It could also be a new expression of freedom, his right not to appear perfect in front of millions every time. But on the other hand, if there really is pain, neglect could make it worse. Is this the beginning of a farewell? Or merely a pause from the public intimacy long considered the norm? In the social media era, lack of interaction is often interpreted as crisis. However, reality is that human life, even global celebrities, doesn't always need to be decoded by everyone. Jimin is not obligated to always respond to anyone. But fans are also entitled to ask, as long as it's done with empathy, not pressure. Jimin might speak tomorrow, and everything might seem normal again. But the wound that is formed in fans' hearts will not disappear easily. And if he remains silent, that question will keep echoing. One thing is certain, the truth has yet to be revealed. And for now, we can only hope, not demand. Perhaps behind Jimin's silence, there is pain. Or perhaps behind Jimin's silence, there is freedom. But the question now becomes much deeper. Is it true that Jimin stopped responding to Jungkook because of a personal crisis? Or are we merely projecting collective anxiety into a narrative that may not be real? In a media landscape that moves so fast, we are often not given time to distinguish between meaning and fact. A moment of silence, no comment, no reply, is instantly interpreted as rejection, conflict, even separation. But did that really happen? Or are we just experiencing symptoms of a thirst for connection packaged by social media algorithms? Remember, most of the information fueling this anxiety did not come from official statements. There is no clarification from Big Hit, no confirmation from the BTS members. All that exists are video clips, live stream snippets, Instagram posts examined as if they were secret documents. So, let's be honest. Are we facing truth? Or are we being controlled by speculation emotionally packaged? This is not just a question about Jimin. It is a question about how we as consumers of information manage our expectations and curiosity. When a phenomenon like this explodes on TikTok, is shared through viral threads on X, Twitter, analyzed in YouTube videos titled Truth Exposed, and commented on in hundreds of thousands of ARMY comments worldwide, we must ask, is this a natural reaction to change? Or are we all being swept into a blinding tide of sensationalism? It is important to remember, emotion is not evidence. Just because we feel something does not mean it reflects reality. The fact that Jungkook did not receive a reply from Jimin does not automatically prove there is a problem between them. The fact that Jimin no longer shows digital interaction does not mean he has distanced emotionally. We only see the surface. While its meaning could be very diverse, we must ask, could this simply be part of a communication strategy? Or maybe Jimin wants to reclaim personal space long sacrificed for public connection. And more importantly, who benefits from this narrative? Is social media exploiting ARMY's emotional panic for engagement? Are content creators profiting from videos titled Jimin's Silence Explained? Are mainstream media riding the issue for click-worthy headlines? If so, then we have all become part of an industry that commodifies empathy. Ironically, the more we try to understand Jimin through his silence, the farther we move from truly understanding who he is. We read his heart through algorithms, not statements. We assess his emotions from interaction statistics, not his own words. Therefore, we invite you, yes, you reading this, to pause for a moment and question yourself. Do I really know what is happening? Or do I only feel I know because everyone is talking about it? Am I empathizing, or am I demanding emotional validation from someone I don't even personally know? Is this narrative genuinely based on reality? Or is it shaped by our collective desire to make every event into drama we can consume? We do not blame anyone for caring. Compassion is at the heart of communities like ARMY. However, we must be careful that this compassion does not turn into blinding obsession. Because when empathy is wrapped in assumption and one-sided interpretation, it can become a boomerang. Not only for idols, but also for fans themselves. Let us imagine for a moment. What if Jimin just needs time alone, without the need to explain? What if their relationship remains harmonious, but no longer needs to be proven through digital interaction? And most importantly,